Welcome back to another airport lounge walkthrough. Today we have two lounges to show you. They are both from Finnair in Helsinki Airport, one in the Schengen area and one in the non-Schengen international area of the terminal. Finnair also has a third lounge for One World Admiral status holder, which I'll briefly mention its location later. Sadly, I won't be getting in there today, but still, the two lounges I'm gonna show you today are great, so let's get going. This lounge has an L-shaped layout, and we are starting from the extreme end first. Passing by the entrance, right here, beside the small counter. Straight ahead are the lockers and the quiet pods. The Schengen and the non-Schengen terminal are connected, so if you're flying business class to non-Schengen destinations, you can drop by in the Schengen lounge first, like what I'm doing here. There's the buffet. Now, they don't look particularly appetizing, but surprisingly, the food actually tasted decent. This lounge has an amazing view of the airport, but obviously, most plane you see here will be Finnair's own aircraft. But still, every part of the lounge have tons of natural light and amazing view. With decent food and nice view, I can see why there are so many squatters in the lounge. Now back to the lounge, we're gonna walk all the way to the end. You'll notice that it's gonna take a while, as this is a pretty sizable lounge. It gets quieter as you move further and further in. Make sure you only whisper when you reach the end. After passing through the border security, I find myself in the non-Schengen side of the terminal, and I can't help but to notice how Nordic heavy the design of the airport is. I wouldn't be surprised if there are several sauna facilities around. Along the way, you will also see lots of advertisement about Finnair's latest business class, which I will be taking soon. To learn about my review of this seat, make sure to stay tuned to my channel's update. And we are now at the lounges. On the left side is the entrance to the Platinum Wing Lounge, meant for the top tier One World Alliance status holders only. Business class or even first class passengers won't have access. One day I'll get in there to show you. I've heard great reviews about that lounge, but for now, let's get back to our non-Schengen business class lounge. I was gonna do the shower tour later, but since I'm here, might as well. There are several shower suites available here. Look for the one with the green light on. Very decent shower suite. While it doesn't feel too luxurious, it does look good enough to be in a business class lounge. The food selection and quality are also quite decent. I trust that you won't be starving here. The lounge can get extremely busy at times, but the traffic really comes and goes like clockwork. Just a couple hours later, it was that empty, and now it's a good time to show you around. The lounge doesn't have beds for those who have long layovers, but they do have those 5-foot-long benches on the side. If you don't mind bending your knees, you could actually take some comfortable naps like I did, but make sure to bring eye masks with you. It is quite bright in here. Lastly, let's touch on access policy. You must be flying business class with Finnair or with its airline partners, otherwise having at least the mid-tier One World Sapphire status. If you are connecting in this airport, at least one of the flights has to be in business class, and the second flight cannot be in a domestic economy class, but elsewhere is fine. Overall, I would rate both lounges as great, beautiful design and decent food. I would rate it higher if they are better sleeping arrangement for long layover passengers like what Qatar did with its business class lounges. Next time, if you have a long layover here in Helsinki Airport and have access to these lounges, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I have 2 Finnair business class flight reviews coming up, so stay tuned, and until then, bye for now.